Hey team. Okay, in this video we're going to look at what's called the hip sleeper stretch. Now the sleeper name, just in case you're wondering, actually comes from the shoulder sleeper stretch, which is done lying on your side, hence the sleeping position. So the reason I call it the hip sleeper is because it really gets into the hip capsule, which is where a lot of the action kind of happens when we're stretching muscles, but we're also trying to increase range of motion in joints. If we can get into the capsule, which is the deepest part of the joint, we can create a lot of change. So with this stretch, it's specifically designed to get into the capsule by using what's called internal rotation of the hip. So that's where the hip, my thigh bone, internally rotates this way. So if I want to internally rotate that here, this would be how I would start the hip sleeper stretch. Now, if you're really tight, you may not even be able to get into this position. So what I would recommend is having 1, 2, maybe even 3 cushions, a box, maybe 15 centimeter. You might even need a 30 centimeter box if you're in the gym. And you can sit on the cushion and get into this position. So you're basically getting the other side of your hip up, raised up, so you can get this thigh internally rotated and down. Now you might get here and you might find that's too easy. You can take the cushion off. You can also bend this knee a little bit. So what this will do is this side of the pelvis, it will posteriorly rotate it or tilt it back, which will help this one roll forward or put more pressure on it. So you can play with this and you can play with your cushion height. Once you find a comfortable place to start, you can sit nice and tall and start there. If you want to crank that up a little bit more, you can reach towards this. So we're side bending a little bit and twisting towards this bent leg, and this will really give you a big stretch down the inner thigh. And this will be getting right deep into here, and that's what you're feeling is that hip capsule stretching. So once we're into this position, we're going to hold for 90 seconds to 2 minutes. I like to do 2 minutes. About the minute mark, the stretch will ease off a little bit. So you might be able to just bend a little bit further, sneak a little bit more range out of it, maybe bend this leg a little bit, make it a bit stronger, and then we hold that for another minute. Then we get to the active part of our stretch, or the pails and rails. Okay, so this is where we actively make the stretch stuff, and then the opposite stuff on the other side of the joint that's not stretching, stronger. When we make that stuff stronger, we get more range. So the pails contraction, the first one we do, what we would do there is we push this knee down into the floor. That activates all the stuff that we're stretching. Then I like to push this foot down, push my hands down, and then I like to push this knee harder. So now I've got my whole body working, but my leg is working the hardest. Hold that for 15 seconds. Once I've done that, I lift these hands, I make 2 fists, I keep everything switched on, and I side bend further into the stretch because I'm activating all this stuff here to get further to create more internal rotation. I hold that for 15 seconds, then I place my hands down in a new range and I relax. I let all that tension go and I breathe for a minute. If it's really strong, you can hold for 30 seconds. But I like to try and get a minute and really relax, focus on my breathing, and just tell myself that that stretch is good for that joint and it's going to give me the increased range of motion and strengthen that range of motion that I'm looking for. So that is the hip sleeper. That's basically a beginner variation. So give it a try. I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, let me know.